They don't have the tech for that.
Apparently.
But, you can't defend a game that's, it's shit in the bed.
So you're telling me I'm wrong for my opinions and what
I
I
don't know.
believe about this game.
I'm saying there's just no way to really back up a case at this point. It's not.
And that's being a quitter. You're a fucking quitter on this game. That's all you were. You were always
I
a
have
quitter.
over
You're gonna
I
be
have over 1,500 hours. I can tell you from day one. I played the alpha. I played the closed fucking alpha in this game, and I knew it was gonna be either good or bad. That's what I was saying. 50-50. It's either gonna be good or bad in that aspect of because the game was buggy off of alpha, but I know it was just an alpha, and I was like, okay, the beta's gonna be better, and the beta turned out to be buggy too, and then post launch got delayed.
And what happened?
Wait.
What happened? I was okay for the post-launch delay because I thought it would help the game develop better, and instead, again, the community, they hypocritically bitched, and asked and demand to want it released now. Okay, this is what you guys are asking for the new Battlefield 2. There's no argument right there.
Hi everyone, Artemis.
It's invalid.
Sorry for the beginning of this video. Didn't mean to put anyone off on the beginning of this video. Also, I want to let you guys know I haven't really been playing Battlefield 5 because lately it's been upsetting me on the subjects on Battlefield 5, so I haven't had really enjoyable moments anymore. But the gameplay that I have is actually an older gameplay. This is actually one of my last Firestorm wins in squads before quitting on Firestorm. I actually had the opportunity to play with, I believe, DICE developers, or people that worked with DICE. So that was very great. I felt like I was part of the community, Battlefield community as a whole, as a group of players, as we are in a franchise. And sadly, right now, I don't feel that I'm not part of the Battlefield community. I don't feel that I'm part of anything really anymore in the Battlefield community. I don't know how to explain it. I'm told that it's all in my head, and there's a lot of IRL stuff going on right now that I don't know what to do. And it's bad enough that, one of my favorite games, I felt that was my favorite game, but I guess not, because I have been defending this title for since the start, since it began. Yes, there has been a few bumps for me with this title, but every time I did go back to it, and I did, support it. I think I'm one of the few players in the community itself of Battlefield that really like this game. Hell, who knows? Maybe I was the only player that liked this game. I never thought it would be this soon to say goodbye to Battlefield 5. And, everyone told me on Twitter and other social media sites that I should get over it. I shouldn't talk about it anymore. The subject is closed. People my opinions are either I have no really any moral or justifications for me to defend. Just like what you saw the part of this video of somebody who said that they were part of the community, say they were part of the player base of Battlefield. If that's the case, Battlefield community, you are all hypocritical. You all have cancer in the community of hate, and Battlefield 5 was never well received, and actually one big content creator actually recently said that, Battlefield as a whole helped the franchise. The best period that Battlefield should stay in is a modern day setting, and that's actually pretty sad. I do not want to say that person's name because I don't want to get more ridiculed, and I don't want to get more hate messages and you know, criticized comments towards me. So I will not say that person's name. But there's other content creators that are disappointed in what DICE is doing right now. So, you know, let me explain more further in the video. Since 2018, in May, when the teaser and then the teaser trailer was revealed, right after that, a lot of people went to Twitter and Reddit. A lot of people went to YouTube. I got to see video clips of large content creators like Dr. Disrespect bash in this game. I got to see Level Cap bash this game. I got to see, you know, Blue Spartan's daddy videos, reaction videos that bash this game. And, you know, and it's all because of one certain trailer. And yes, I do understand that that trailer is very flamboyant, was very fast-paced, and didn't feel like a Battlefield title game. But the only thing I was very excited for the trailer was that it was going to be based in World War II, and I thought over time the game would complete the World War II genre and make a good World War II game. That did not happen because the developers who promised us that we would go through the war in a live service failed. The devs, I'm not going to say your names because there's so many of you, and especially community managers, you all failed. You really did. You promised the player base something great about World War II and you failed. And the Battlefield community itself and the content creators in it, you guys also failed. There was not a lot of love and support for this game when it came out. People made memes during the first trailer and the second trailer because they saw female characters in it. The subject about female characters is really a controversial subject. There's many other controversial subjects about Battlefield 5. Before Christmas update, they did a TTK and Time to Death update. And yeah, that was a bad, terrible decision on the developer's part. They appeased to the Christmas noobs. Also, the bright part is there are a small player base that has gone up, and it's sadly that this player base might leave this Battlefield game of 5, and maybe also because the reason why they bought it was because of the Pacific DLC. And that's where I want to explain about the trailer. So if you look at the three different trailers, Pacific came out with more masculine, more historical accuracy for World War II, and you know, the other one was just, you know, it's World War II, but I thought it was more for like the fun aspects. But nobody didn't see it that way. They thought it was SJWs. They thought it was liberals taking over Battlefield. I disagree. You know, I had so much support for this game, and I still do. And you know, I just want to say that, you know, in the first teaser trailer it was terrible. Apparently, the woman with the bionic arm or the limb. Did you know that historically that limb is actually a historical correct limb that was mass produced during the 30s and 40s? Guess you didn't know that. Also, in World War II, there were people who were disabled that fought on the front lines and behind enemy lines. One of them was a British officer who went to Crete that had one eye, a few missing fingers on one hand, and he had a whole missing hand. He made a partisans group in Crete off of Greece until the end of the war. I can't really remember his name exactly, so I do apologize for not giving out his name. Another British was an RAF pilot who was disabled, who had 2 wooden legs. His name was Douglas Barter. Barter lost his 2 legs in a plane accident before World War II. They said he would never walk, drive cars, or fly again. He proved them all wrong by driving race cars, learning to walk, and guess what? He got to fly the brand new special British RAF planes before the Battle of Britain happened. During that time, he ended up being an ace pilot, and he flew higher than anybody on the RAF and outwit and flew higher than anybody in the Luftwaffe during World War II. That's how he became an ace. He could never black out from the G-force because he had no legs. Another person, somebody who worked with the Special British Intelligence Agency, was an agent, covert agent, for the OSS, predecessor of the CIA, was Virginia Hall. Virginia Hall was an American woman who was fluent in French.
They're in front of me. I'm cornered.
She undermined German occupation in France for the longest time, and she had a wooden leg named Cuthbert, and she dressed as an elderly woman to hide her disability. She was a radio operator, and she also carried a few guns on her, and she was known as the most feared woman in the Nazi Reich.
I'm down.
And she had what? She didn't have a bionic arm or a prosthetic arm. She had a prosthetic leg. So, you know, tell you the truth, yeah, disabled people did fight behind enemy lines. And that, to me, that's more than frontline combat, because that's special ops combat. During Normandy, Virginia Hall's resistant group that she organized, derailed trains, blew up bridges, and slowed down German advancements to Normandy. Because of her actions in 1945, she was awarded the highest second medal in military service, the Distinguished Service Cross. Another woman who was in the secret special intelligence agency for Great Britain was Nancy Wake, who's from Australia, fluent in French and German, and she also did the same in southern France. I understand the representation of women in World War II, and people who were disabled in World War II were not represented right.
Yeah.
So I do apologize for people that were upset and angry, but I just basically proved you guys wrong slightly with history. The other thing about it is that war paint or camouflage paint on people's faces. When Blue Spartan did a reaction video with his dad said that about the subject about camouflage paint, like why are they wearing face paint? What are they, Indians? As being part Native American, I felt that was very insulted to me, and I was angry. So, you know, and that's a lame horse.
Nope, he's hit, he's got no shield.
So, you know what? Whatever. In World War II, Native Americans did fight for this country, and the sad part is, when they were fighting for this country, did you know they were not recognized as U.S. citizens until 1993? That's pretty sad. The Native Americans who were Navajo who fought in the Pacific were known as code talkers on the radio because our radio waves were actually broken by the Japanese. So the Japanese could sometimes break our codes during the war. By doing this, the code talkers who spoke in the Navajo language was able to demise the Japanese to not break their the American codes. I just told you a brief about history about Battlefield, not Battlefield, but World War II history, that I thought Battlefield could have taken us, and somewhat kind of did. I was going to do more content about Soviet DLCs, actually, and talk about the 588th Bomber Regiment, also known as the Night Hexen, that the Germans named Night Witches, by Maria Raskova, the founder, the mother of the Night Witches. And I was going to talk about Polana and a few other women on the Soviet front, including guys too, and talk about weapon videos. And you know, a lot of my history World War II videos I wanted to use Battlefield 5 for weren't up to par, and you know, we're not ready yet. And you know, there's some reasons why I couldn't upload them and make them right away, because there were some IRL issues, and I do have some major back issues, guys, and health issues that I have to address. And I'm sorry, you know, I wish I could be around to do more content for you guys, and I was planning on doing that for Battlefield 5. So, you know, I did say some content creators' names. You know, I did call them out on subjects. I did mention some historical facts and subjects. And like I said, you know, it's not just the developer's fault of this game. It was really the community and the player base. And if the player base didn't really want this World War II title. They should have just said something. This player base is so hypocritical that when Battlefield 1 came out, you guys bitched and complained. You bitched and complained there was no cosmetic items to guns. You couldn't really customize your guns. They give this in the World War II setting, and you guys weren't really happy. You were more entitled, spoiled brats, this community is. And you failed to see what this game could have been. You know, maybe it really was doomed to the start, not because of added female women and gender field, and you know, at this point, yeah, there is sexist in the community still, a large sexist community towards women in the gaming world.
Got him.
Especially in Battlefield 5. I'm ashamed that, you know, that the community couldn't see it. I'm ashamed that the developers are quitting and pulling the plug on this game before maybe they could fix some issues. And they said they will, but not like this. You know, I called out those that I feel, you know, should have done something better instead of destructive criticism. I'm Artemis HD, guys.
Fire.
And right now, I don't know if I'll ever see you guys on the next Battlefield. I'll have to think about it. I love you guys. I love the support. I'll see you all later. Bye.
You're welcome.